Let's go. It's your boy Trey. Let's just talk Trey with Let's Just Talk Motivation with my moderator slash admin, Kara. Let's go. How you doing, Kara?
I'm good. How
Let's
are you?
go. I'm doing amazing. I'm eating right now, so y'all gonna have to excuse me. But Kara's about to share something very motivational. So I've hit that record button and we listening, Kara. What's
All
up?
right. Well, at least I hope it's It was motivational to me. So yesterday I
Hmm.
went to the Renaissance Fair, and while I was there, one of the workers, like, she had on it, like, an outfit, and then she had this sign that said advice on it. So I went up to her. I didn't know if I would have to pay for the advice or not. I didn't. It was free. Um, but I went up to her and I said, "So what kind of advice are you giving?" And she said, "Well, depends. Like, you can, if you have a question, you can ask the question, or you can just ask for random advice." I didn't have a question, so I was just like, "Give me random advice." And this is what she said. She said, "You aren't a tree, so you are not stuck where you are. So, you can move around and do what you want."
Hmm. Wait. Can you repeat that?
She said, "You are not a tree, so you aren't stuck where you're at. So you can move around if you want to and do what you want."
Sound like something I needed. So what first off, did that resonate with you? And if so, how so?
I think so. I mean, I think it's very easy to get like stuck in a place, stuck in a routine,
Hmm.
stuck in
Hmm.
like a lifestyle, stuck in like whatever you're
Yes.
at, and you get comfortable, but then it's just like being reminded that, like, I haven't been planted here like
Yeah.
necessarily. So like I'm not stuck. I can move. I can travel. I can, like, if something happens, um and I need to leave, I can. Like, I'm not,
Yeah.
like, you can't just let your circumstances, or you can't let circumstances or things or anything like keep you
Yeah.
to a place, because you're not stuck.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
beast. That's really good.
It
That's
was,
really good.
yeah, it was great. It was like, honestly, it was advice I didn't like. I just went up there like being silly. Like, I wasn't thinking
Yeah.
that it'd be like anything crazy. Honestly, I was curious, like,
Yeah.
holding a sign that says advice. What are you, what is this?
Exactly. Like,
So, and then I was like, oh, kind of taken aback, because I was like, I I actually needed that advice.
yeah. Hmm. Hmm. That's so dope.
Yeah, it
Let me
was.
ask you, let me ask you this. So prior to this advice, were you feeling stuck? Were you feeling at all like what she gave you in terms of advice?
I mean, I guess, like, I don't know if I was actually feeling stuck, but I think
Yeah.
it's freeing. Like, it was more like a freeing mentality of just like, you're right. I'm not like bound to this place. I'm not bound
Yeah.
to this area. I'm not bound to this, like, profession. I'm not bound to,
Mm.
whatever. And not that I don't like what I'm doing or anything like that, but it's just nice. I guess for me, it's just freeing to know that you're not, like, again, it's just like you're not stuck to it.
Yep.
Just because I think this is something that, like, I wish I had known as someone young, like a younger version of
Yeah.
me. It's
Mhm.
like, oh,
You're
I had,
still young. You're still a baby, girl.
I'm
Come on now.
not,
Come
I'm
on
not,
now.
but I'm still young.
You're a baby.
I'm older than you.
Mhm.
Uh,
You're a baby. Mhm.
but what was I saying? Oh, yeah, just like, if I had been like the younger me
Yeah.
going into college, if I had heard this, like, you're not bound to a path. Like, you don't have to exactly know. Because a lot of times, like in high school, you're always asked, like, what are you going to do with your life?
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But you sometimes feel pressured to answer
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
So like you're like, I have to have an answer. So
Yeah.
then once you pick the answer, you're like, well, I'm stuck in this because that's what I told people.
Yeah.
But you're not. You're not stuck in it. If you don't know what you want, that's okay.
Yep. Hmm.
Many of us don't know what we want
Yeah. Most of us don't.
or what we're doing. Just living life day by day sometimes. And
Come
so
on.
yeah. So it's okay to not know all the answers.
Come on. Come the freak on. But what you just said is so good. Um, a lot of people, and I was just talking to somebody about this. This is actually why I was running late. I was talking to somebody else who felt the same way. And then
Mhm.
they were just like, they needed to hear that. And I guess I poured out, to them in terms of motivation before I got on the motivational call. Probably should have invited him on this call.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time I'll do that.
Yeah, you should. I mean, this is especially this one. This is the public call.
It is. Oh my goodness, it is. Yes, you're right. I should have did that. Um, but you're right. Kind of going back to what I did, right? Recently. I left my job.
Mhm.
Some people may look at that and be like, man, like it's kind of paying you pretty good money, this and that. Like, why would you why would you do that? Why would you just up and do that? And that's the thing too. Sometimes making a move or making the right move or making a move that you need to make won't look reasonable to certain people.
Yeah.
you
No, it's true. Not
know,
not everybody's gonna understand it either.
not
Then
everybody's gonna understand it.
where you have to also be okay with not being,
Come on,
yeah, and also just not um being what someone else
come on,
wants to be
come
because
on, come on,
because you're not gonna be able to please everybody.
come on,
And some people you can't please ever.
come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but come on.
You just came out of church. It's okay, I got it.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly
You're
what it
on
is.
the amen train.
That's exactly what it is.
Um, yeah, but I think you have to be okay with that
Yep,
and possibly disappointing people that you really love.
yep, yep,
Um,
yep,
but those that like really love you back are
yep,
still be there for you
yep.
regardless of what happens. They
Mhm.
may not understand it, but they'll still be there.
Exactly.
And they might have things to say, and
Yeah,
that's okay. It's still good to have people that will talk to you through things. Like it's
yeah,
still good to have people that will like, be like, "Are you sure this is the right
yeah.
choice?" Like
Hmm.
ask you questions. Like, and then you just make sure that you're doing it for the right reason or your like whatever that is for you, you know.
Yep. You literally just said it. Like, wow. I freaking love what you just said. Like, for me, I wasn't happy. For me, I could tell that I ran my race. And this was it. There was nothing else in terms of like staying.
Mhm.
And it looked weird, you
Yeah.
know? And then you get the questions of what are you gonna do here? What are you gonna do there? How's this? How's that? How are you gonna work this out?
Mhm.
And the thing about it is I'm not lacking or hurting for anything.
Yeah.
Like the Lord still provides. Job or no job. You know
No,
what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the verse, or like I keep going back to like a sermon that my pastor did. It was
yeah,
a while ago, but like it resonated with me a lot.
yeah.
Uh, it was the verses were from Habakkuk, which is not like a super common book. I'm gonna find it real quick
Yeah.
because I misquote it. So
This is the verse, or you said a book?
it's a it's a verse. Like I mean, it's a
Mm.
verse from the Bible, but it's in the book of Habakkuk.
Gotcha. Okay.
Habakkuk 3. Um,
I love this scripture on a freaking Sunday. Let's go. I love it.
okay, so it's Habakkuk 3:17 through 18.
Mm.
Though the fig tree does not bud, and there are no grapes on the vines, though the oil crop fails, and the fields produce no food, though there are no sheep in the pen, and no cattle in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in God my Savior. So like this one was like just talking about how like they built their lives and their livelihoods on the crops.
Come on.
And so like even when they didn't have good years,
Yeah.
God still provided and they can still rejoice in the Lord. Like
Yeah.
whether things are going your way or aren't, like you still rejoice in the Lord. Like
Yeah.
that is your steadiness. And um I remember like my pastor was talking about that. And he was talking about the like, just in the good times, in the bad times, you
Yeah.
rejoice. And like then you see his faithfulness through it. So as long as
Yeah.
you're like with it, regardless of when whether the money's flowing in or isn't flowing,
Yeah.
like, you're still gonna have all that you need.
I'm on. You're still gonna have all that you need. And you're left wondering like how do I have all that I need still? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like almost like how is this even possible? But that's faith. That's him. That's what he does.
Mm.
That's literally what he does. That's how he moves. And there's nothing odd about it. He's done it plenty of times in our own lives. That's the funny part. We be
Yeah,
so like doubtful when we be like when you really think about it, and he's been doing this all along. Like he's always done this.
yeah.
It's like, go ahead.
No, it's true. Yeah. I mean, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, it's like he's always done this. Like, why are we sitting here acting like it's hard to let something go if we're claiming that we trust the Lord of the Bible, the God of the Bible, the God that, this guy that split the Red Sea and did all these amazing things. Are we really just gonna sit here and act like he did all this, but
Right.
but no, I'm not gonna really try to trust in him right now. That's a little bit too much right now. So yeah, everything you're saying, I'm all the way with. Like I love what you're saying. Um, it's such a conviction. What you're saying is such a conviction to me in the sense of his faithfulness and how often I forget that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? How often I forget his faithfulness.
It can be easy to forget. I mean, especially sometimes I think like also the point that my pastor is making, if I remember correctly from that sermon, was just that, you know, like sometimes it can be hard to rejoice in our suffering.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it can be hard to rejoice in our suffering, but sometimes it can even be harder to rejoice in
And the
like
good things.
when things are good, because
Yeah.
so like, and I think after our suffering sometimes, like when it starts to be good, that's when you can rejoice and you're like
Yep.
really happy. But then when things continue to be good, you can get complacent and forget.
Yep. Yep.
And and so it's just important to remember, like, to continue to keep him at the center.
Yep. Sounds like the Israelites.
Yeah.
We were just talking about them in church today. You know, that level of like, man, I'm tired of eating manna. I'd rather go back and go back to slavery or this and that. It's like, man, like, do you not understand all the things he's given you and done so far?
Did you forget what it was like? Sometimes you
Yeah.
do. Sometimes you glorify the things, like, like when you're going through something too, like sometimes
Yeah.
you glorify the suffering that you went through.
Yo.
Like sometimes it's like you're
Well,
like,
I'm gonna ask you a personal question once you finish this thought, your statement.
okay.
I'm
Well,
sorry, my questions did get my juices are flowing.
well, I mean, maybe I'll answer it already. Because I was about to say, like, so like sometimes if you've been through something, like even if you've been through like something like in a relationship, like where you're like, this relationship was really
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
really like toxic and horrible for my
Hmm.
mental health or for my
Hmm.
emotional health or for anything. Um, but when you've been in a season of like singleness or loneliness,
Hmm.
you can be like, ooh, maybe I want to take them back. But you don't.
Mm.
You don't.
Mm. She said, but you don't.
That's me personally. But yeah, you don't.
Okay, so I think you answered my question. I was gonna ask.
I was
I
like,
was
I
about to.
know where this
I
is
was
going.
about to ask the question, and you answered it.
I knew where it was going.
You knew it was coming.
Well, I was already gonna answer that question, but so I was like, just let me finish my answer
Just
so
let me finish my answer, right? Yeah, because like, essentially that's kind of how, yeah, what you just said is, yeah, I think it's spot on. Yeah, that level of like, hey, like, hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this, and or like you said, you're in singleness. So then I guess I'll just even go more direct. So though your marriage was the way that it was, and you've shared a bit of it to me and just on here in general, you've had moments in your singleness where you've kind of questioned it and kind of even like played with the fact of going back. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I think sometimes like when you get like really or like when I've gotten really, really lonely or like
Mm.
very depressed. Like it would be like
Wow.
possibly. But
It,
then at the end of the day, I'm like, no, because it wouldn't help.
yeah. Yeah.
But like, like so in those moments, it's like because I've worked on my faith a lot more, not that I ever really wavered in my faith,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's sometimes seasons where you're a lot more faithful than others. And so
Absolutely.
this one is just like, I'm like, okay, no, I don't actually want that. And I can find my solace
Yeah.
or, by going and seeking God or reading the Bible or like
Yeah.
praying in this moment, then like it's like God will actually be there for me instead.
Amen.
And he's got like a better plan ahead, you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
having hope for that future,
Hmm.
um, having hope for, just like the restoration and the different things and just like
Yeah.
seeing where I'm at and seeing what even like my past 3 years are almost coming up on 3 years in Maryland has been for me, like, and how much I've just transformed since then. I mean, I guess it's been 3 years since I got divorced. So just the 3 years since my divorce, even,
Yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
just the changes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you start to meditate on those things that help. I guess, pull you back or, you know,
Yeah,
yeah, gotcha.
yeah, definitely.
The guy I was talking to before we got on the call, was even telling me that, he sometimes gets jealous of people who are in relationships and stuff like that. You ever find yourself sometimes envying those who are married? I know even your siblings, not saying that you envy them or you don't have to get that person if you don't want to reveal that, but have you
I
found?
I have been like,
Mm,
sometimes you can be jealous of people. I think for me, like for I mean, now I don't feel as jealous of people in relationships. Um, because I found that I'm not as lonely anymore. Just
mm,
like, I'm content in my singleness.
yeah,
I like I'm content
yeah,
there. Not that I don't I will find someone or like
yeah,
that's me or anything like that. Like, I haven't given up on that,
yeah,
but also not like I'm just content where I am.
yeah.
Um, so I think that I
Mhm.
like I find myself being more like joyful for people who are
Yeah,
in really good relationships,
yeah, hmm
Like I'm like I'm just happy for you.
yeah.
Like I know, like it was really hard for me like I was so happy for my sister when she got
Mm,
married, like because she had been waiting so long to find her husband and
yeah,
he's a wonderful man and like she found a great like person. Um, but her marriage happened like just a couple months after my divorce.
wow,
So
wow,
so it was difficult. So
wow.
as much as I was very, very happy for her,
Oh,
it was still like it was a super hard, like
like bittersweet, as in like you were
it was a
like
hard day for me. Yeah.
a hard day for you in the sense of like were you happy for it, but envious or like kind of like man, like
It
mine,
I was just I was it was bittersweet in the fact that I was so happy for her. She deserves the love that she has. She deserved that day was absolutely beautiful. Like it was
Mhm.
like gave such honor to God. Like
Yeah,
it was beautiful. It was like the most beautiful wedding I've been to in a long time. It
yeah,
was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I loved that day. I think the hard part for me was that I didn't have someone to share it with. So it was just
yeah,
a little like it was like I was like, wow, I really am alone. Like that was
mm,
like a moment of like I'm alone.
yeah,
And it was just that was hard.
yeah. Reflecting on that, like the divorce and all of
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah. And like it's like I don't have anybody to dance with on the dance floor.
yeah.
um uh yeah.
I feel that. I feel that.
So like the wedding itself, I think the wedding itself, I was like it was the reception more that I felt it. Because
Mm,
that's like because like when you're at the wedding and stuff, it's like it's your focus is completely on the
yeah,
couple.
yeah.
And which and then when it's at the reception, that's when people talk to you.
So people are talking. Yeah. Hmm.
And it's kind of like a like for me at that time, it was a like a just a reminder.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. Wow.
Not that people brought it up or anything. It's just like, I think there were definitely people being really sensitive with me at the time
Yeah, I
too,
was about to say. Yeah.
which is
Hmm.
like nice, but also like which can be nice, but also it can be like,
Like, don't treat me different. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, but they
But you
were,
understand.
but I understood it, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so, but it was good. There were moments that I like slipped away more than I probably would
Mm.
have.
Yeah. And
If
you slipped
it,
away to cry?
no, no, I didn't cry.
Mm.
Not no, not that day. I did cry the day before.
Yeah.
but I didn't cry that day. I
Yeah.
just like sometimes I just had to like be out of the I am an introvert.
Yeah.
like like that was like more like it was like my social battery was a lot less that day.
Yeah. It was being tested.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Because like I can hang if I really want to.
Yeah. I feel that. Wow. Wow. That we
That
got
was
deep.
that yeah, we took a turn.
We took a time.
I don't know how motivating this
I,
ending is.
nah, it's motivating, but it's a little mental health. Giving a little mental health at the same
This turned
time.
more into like mental health than it did. I mean, your mental health definitely like invades everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like, so it's important.
Yeah.
But let's see. How can we flip this to be
No, it's my
more
I think
positive?
not just you sharing your experiences is emotional. Like to be I mean yeah, it's motivation. If you're being honest,
There's
because you
hope at the end. Okay, that's how we're gonna okay. So
Mhm.
that was 3 years ago. That was their wedding was almost 3 years ago. Their
Wow.
third anniversary is coming up. The 2nd of October. Yay, happy anniversary, guys.
It's super dope.
I
And, and look at you now,
I love you guys. And I loved their wedding.
Yeah, and look at you now. Look at where you are.
Yeah.
Like
I'm in
you're
a
nowhere
much
near.
better place. Yeah. I'm in a much better place.
Much better.
I'm not in the same mentality.
Come
Uh,
on.
yeah, so time does heal all wounds. It just
Yeah.
takes a while sometimes.
Yeah,
There
you're right. I love it.
you go. We flipped it. Now it's
Yeah,
positive.
you definitely flipped it. Definitely flipped it. I mean, not that it needs to really be flipped, but you said what needed to be said, and I think that whoever hears it will get from it what they needed. So that was amazing. That was an incredible response. Thank you for being vulnerable. It's hard being vulnerable.
Yeah,
People know your weaknesses.
I
Oh
know.
yeah. Excuse me, but the fact that you floated with the idea of going back, like it's like the fact that you thought about that, it's like that takes a lot to admit.
Well, that was a very brief thought.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that.
I just
But
want that to be very clear in case anybody's
you are
watching.
hilarious. Yeah, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I get it. She said, in case anybody watching, you are hilarious. I definitely understand. But but yeah, but the fact is, um, you were thinking about it. However, like you said, you had to come to terms with yourself and really understand that, yeah, excuse me. You have to come to terms with the fact that, yeah, this isn't what you want.
Mhm.
This isn't what you have planned. And it was a very brief thought. That's encouraging. So yeah, everything you said was encouraging, if I'm being honest. Like it's such a beautiful way to express, what was said or what was thought about. Um, and just pressing through. The fact that you are where you are now is a testimony to what can happen with faith and hope in the Lord and all the other aids that you had along with that helped you to press forward.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
motivation. That's motivation in and of itself.
Yeah,
That's motivation. Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Pressing into, yeah, my faith was
Yep.
definitely.
hmm Yeah, you said it. You said it. So I know we got what call do you have next? Is the next
Well,
call?
the next call I think is an everything call. I don't know if people or if anybody signed up for it, but that's that.
It's an everything call.
The everything call. You talk about
Okay.
everything. And
Hey, let's go.
I didn't actually sign up for it because I'm not the moderator for it, so I didn't sign up for it.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha,
But
gotcha.
yeah,
That's messed up.
that's messed up. What, do you want me to sign up for it? I could. It is the public group.
Yeah, it's public. But but again,
But
if you wanted to,
also,
yeah.
but
Also,
also, I could take this like 40 minutes to do other things for a minute, for a little bit till we go to art.
yeah, exactly, and that's fine. That's completely fine. Like I said, you never have to show up to any of them. It's never like a mandatory meeting or anything. But if you want to, I always want you on. You're always welcome, especially for the moderator ones, anytime.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right.
So, so if you got something you got to do, take care of that business, and you gonna have me for the rest of the night. Like I'm heading home right now, so I can at least be in my room.
I think I'm gonna take the break today and then
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean everything goes everywhere.
You say everything goes everywhere.
It's
What you
true.
mean by that?
I was on the everything call once. We started talking about cats. We started with cats.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does
Then
go
we went to
everywhere.
and then we went to aliens.
Yo, and then we did vampires. Right.
Did all of that.
I loved it.
So
Well,
you
go
just
ahead.
never know what you're gonna get when
Exactly.
you join Trey's
Everything.
everything call. This is
Exactly.
a little plug since we're still recorded.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is. All right. Well, I'm gonna end it. Um, you gonna get your time, and I'll hop back on and pop back in. What, at 6, I think.
Yeah, six for art.
That's right. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. I love you. Thank you so
Bye.
much for this time. And next week, I guess we'll see Kara back here. Hopefully, bright and early with more motivation.
Woo.
Go.
Okay.
All right. Love you. Bye.